Trick or treat, trick or treat, trick or treat for Halloween. Better give a treat that's good to eat if you want to keep life serene.
Hello darlings, it's Tess and welcome back to Vlogoween. For today's video, I'm going to be showing you the Oracle deck that I have been using every single day of this month, well, most days, which is the Seasons of the Witch Samhain Oracle. It's by Lorraine Anderson and Juliet Diaz, and it's illustrated by Giada Rose? Giada? I'm sorry, I'm so gonna mispronounce that. But basically, it's a Samhain-focused deck that aims to harness the intuitive power of the year's most magical night. Because, as we all know, Samhain is usually called the Witch's New Year. It is kind of the family favourite out of all the Sabbats. The deck comes with an information book that obviously has all of the card meanings in it, but it also has a few card spreads, which is really good for kind of beginners like me. I have been pulling one card, but this Interview the Deck spread, I really should get around to doing that before I do any in-depth readings, just like it says there. So I'm really happy that they have that guide for a beginner like me. There is a Reclaiming My Power spread. I really should do that one too. And the Rotten Apple spread. I love the names of these. I think they're so great. See, Shadow spread. That's another good one. The Healers spread. That's a big mood. And finally, the Athame spread, which kinda terrifies me, but it also sounds amazing. So here I'm going to give you guys a look at these cards. You can see the red and the moon. It's so even the back of them is beautiful, including the box that they come in. But it's just the most incredible artwork by Giada Rose, as I said before, and each card has a little poem written on it. So for example, for the card Grief, which is the last one I pulled as of me editing this, it is but a mere glimpse of nothingness hidden away deep within the chambers of your mourning, in the red clovers birthing lost illusion. Honestly, every single card is just a freaking masterpiece, if you ask me, and I should really go through and decide which of all the poems is my favourite. Another one I like is for Potions and Spells, which is a pinch of this, a dash of that, be sure you're sure before you call. Be sure you're sure. I think that's great. One crazy thing that's happened while I've been pulling from this deck this month is I pulled the Altar card 3 times in the space of a week, even though I was obviously shuffling the shit out of my deck between every time the way you're supposed to. I just kept finding it. And that freaked me out a little bit, because this particular year of our Lord, or Lords, or Gods, or Goddesses 2022, I have been obsessive about my altar craft. I expanded my Art Magic altar, and I have been really serious about celebrating the Sabbats as well on the seasonal part of my altar. Just my craft and my creativity have been really centered around that, so I feel like the guides really did draw me to the altar card a few times over, just to kind of read me to filth, maybe, and just remind me that the altar is such a central part of witchcraft practice, and that it's also been central in mine. Another of my favourite poems that's on a card is for Journey, which says, "Daughters of our mother, walkers of the unknown, take with you on this journey all that you hone." But basically, the cards are broken up into 3 sections of Samhain, the Witch Tools, and the Witch Familiars. The poems are also written to be used in spells, rituals, potions, meditations, or any invocation to call in the energy of the card. The guidance book also has not just meanings of the cards, but meanings of what energy there is if you get them in reverse, which I think is really great, because sometimes when I get an inverted tarot or oracle card, I get kind of worried, like, is this bad? Like, is it flipping whatever the meaning was supposed to be on its head? Like, it kind of freaks me out a little bit sometimes, but I'm glad that there are some meanings that are written out in this book. It kind of comforts me a little bit to know that that option of getting it in reverse has been thought out among the creation, which is honestly why Lorraine Anderson and Juliet Diaz have mastered this deck so completely for me. Like, every single detail has been taken into account, I think, and I recommend that you guys get it for Samhain time, because I have just been loving it so much. Getting into our little book here, it's organized alphabetically, so that's obviously great, easy to find things. But it doesn't just have the meanings of the cards in it. It has the reversed meanings, as I said, but there's also some other things. So for the candles card, Candle Magic, it has a list of candle color correspondences, which is really useful. I just personally love the idea of honoring a Sabbath throughout the entire month of it. I always want to try and really celebrate them as much as I can as part of my practice, because doing workings and things every single day can get really overwhelming, and I often forget to do it, like meditating every day and things like that. So what I can do, which is usually spending time at my altar, changing it up, making things for it, this is just another example of something that I can do in order to connect to my practice and my spirituality. And so I might look into getting some of the other Seasons of the Witch oracle decks that go off the different Sabbats, but as of right now, this Samhain one, I'm just in love with it, and I have been using it for the whole of this month, as I said, and I'm going to keep doing that until probably after Samhain, just as a wind down. So I hope you've enjoyed looking at this deck with me, and I hope that you are able to find it yourself if you love it. So subscribe for more witchiness from me and more of Vlogoween, and remember, I love you, keep going.